China is for China. China is not for Africa. How can an African be a foreigner in an African country? To gain mentality, we need to let go of the influence of the West, who were still colonized under white supremacists. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are. In this episode, we're going to be talking about something nice, something precious, something marvelous. What am I talking about? I'm talking about love. We're going to be talking about self love, brotherly love, sister love, because I realize that the root of it all, it's all about love. So before we get into it, just remember to subscribe to the podcast, leave your comment, let's discuss these issues, hit the like button, make sure you catch the podcast also on Spotify and also Apple Podcast. And if you are an artist, make sure that you use the distro kit to distribute your music in all the digital platforms. Using the link I will share below, you will get 7% discount. Don't miss out on that opportunity. If you're an artist, you need your music to be on Spotify, you need your music to be on iTunes and all over the place so that you will get known. So, why do we choose to talk about love? Why is it so important for us as Africans to preach love? Love conquers all. Yes, we are divided as Africans, but with love and unity, we can conquer all. Now remember, seeing a brother on the street or seeing a sister in the street, when you smile at her or him, what does the reaction look like? Of course, it will be smiles, because the love that you give with that smile projects the love that you have, and you will receive the same amount of love that you give. Yes, we may blame the white people, we may blame the white supremacy, we might blame the apartheid, we might blame the oppression, the colonization. All those things did affect us. Yes, they did. Of course they did. But it's time now to look past that. Yes, we can complain about them. Yes, we can say that the way that Africa is today is because of that. But look at it at it in this way. You have the power to change the narrative. You have the power as the youth to change the narrative, because the conditioning that we received from the oppression is anger, is hate, it's all those things evil. And that kind of anger drove the wedge between Africans, drove the wedge between the man and the woman, drove the wedge between the son and the father, the mother and the daughter and the father, the son and the mother. because we have so much hate inside. How can we overcome that hate? We need to overcome it by sharing love. Love is a condition, it's a feeling. You don't need anything to have love. You don't need any degrees. You don't need any social workers. You don't need any psychologists. Love is in here. Love is in your heart. You just need to change the way you think, the way you react, the way you feel, so that you can receive the love. I know it's not easy. Yes, it's not. But guess what? It can happen. It's not easy projecting love while you wake up in the morning, not knowing what you're going to eat for breakfast, what you're going to eat for lunch and the dinner and the supper. It's not easy to share love in those conditions. It's not easy to feel love living in the dump, living in the shacks in a one-bedroom shack with a family of 5 or up to 10, up to 15 in some households. It's not easy. The government need to provide those houses, but while they haven't provided them, what can we do as the youth? We need to project love. Love conquers all. We as Africans, we are as divided as we have never been before. Do you know what happened during the times of oppression? African countries were working together. They were united in one goal. What was that goal? To be independent, to be liberated, and to be free. The love that was shared between those times of apartheid, between those times of oppression, between those times of colonization, is the thing that brought us to where we are today, the independence of the states and countries in Africa. Because South Africa wouldn't be free if it wasn't for the neighboring countries, the countries like Kenya, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, Mozambique, Namibia, in all those countries and the far north countries that we as South Africans worked with during those times. If it wasn't for the love that our brothers and sisters in the neighboring countries gave us, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't. So, what I'm saying is that love that brought us independence is the love that we need to have to unite as Africa and gain economical independence so that we can strive as Africans. The oppression managed to divide us after all the independence that we got, but we can change the narrative. The youth can change the narrative. We can share love to our brothers in Nigeria. You cannot think if you are in Nigeria you are better than Sierra Leone. You cannot think if you are in Zimbabwe you are better than Botswana. You cannot think if you are in South Africa you are better than Egypt. You cannot think if you are in Morocco you are better than Djibouti. We are all Africans. No one is better than each other. We are all in the same situation. We are all under the oppression, economical oppression from the Americans, from the Europeans, from the Chinese. We are all oppressed. Now, let me share you the story of the village where I come from. I come from Eastern Cape in a village called Ekuze in a town called Tsomo. In Ekuze, we have scattered households where you will get your neighbors a little bit far, let's say some meters, 100 to 500 meters away, some kilometers away, depends on where your household is. So there was this emerging a guy that was provoking people, causing havoc, raping women, stealing people's cows and sheep and donkeys, and breaking into people's houses. Why was this guy doing that and did it for long? Because he was targeting each house. First of all, the situation where I'm coming from, most households got a woman in charge because most male went to the urban areas like Cape Town, Johannesburg to find jobs and left the woman and some children to stay in the houses. So this guy called Povolo, he saw that as an opportunity for him because houses are scattered and there's woman, and maybe in some there's woman and some children. So he would wait until it's dark and trip in and break in and take whatever it takes. Or in some houses he would break in and rape the woman. That is a scared story and sad story, right? Now consider that as Africa. Because we decide to be scattered and lock ourselves in our countries, it's easy for Western countries like America, Europe, and China to come into each country and rob the resources and rape our lands and promise us all the wealth in the world, but that they will never give us. It's easy to do that because we are divided. For our instance here in Africa, we can change that narrative. If we can unite and share love, we are over 1 billion, the population of Africa. And America is about 300 million. In Europe, it's around 900 million. And China is over a billion in population. If Africa is united, got one army, one governance, we can stand head to head with any army in the world. We can stand whatever they are throwing at us if we are united, if we're speaking in one voice, if we're speaking in one heart as Africa. But failure to do that, these situations that we find ourselves in will replicate, and it will happen for generations to come. We need to change the narrative. No country is better than each other. No country is better than any other country in Africa. We are in the same situation. Our resources are being looted. The only country that managed to stand still, it's Libya. Only when Gaddafi was still in charge. But now everything is in chaos because we are not united to protect it so that we can share the same experience that Libya shared. We allowed the West go in and cause troubles and killed Muammar Gaddafi. So the story I was telling you about my village, this is the story of Africa. Africa is being raped and we're doing nothing about it because we are divided. And the so-called African Union cannot do anything because the policies that they have prevent them from interfering in any other state issues of any other country in Africa. We need to share that love. We need to make sure that our kids receive love from us. With love, all these tribal wars, all these civil wars, all this abuse against women, they will be a thing of the past if we start by loving each other and seeing other Africans as humans also. I know many other African nationals come into other African countries and do all the criminal activities, very, very, very bad things that they are doing. But all other countries got their own criminals. Not all those brothers are criminals. If we are dealing with criminals, we must deal with criminals at large. Not say we're going to deal with these criminals the other way because they're coming from the other country. No. All the countries got good people, all the other countries got bad people. That's a matter of life. But we need to deal with those situations as they are. Not hide the hate that we have inside us with the crime rate that is caused by foreign nationals. Because I don't believe that there is foreign nationals. These are our brothers. These are your brothers. You need to deal with them decisively, as they were born in your same household. I see these tweets, these messages, this hate between South Africa and Nigeria. This is unnecessary. This is not taking us anywhere. We need to share love. We need to love each other as Africans and unite and speak in one voice and face the enemy. We are not our enemies. Africa is not the enemy to other Africans. The enemy is outside, over the seas. If you are over the seas, then you are the enemy to us because you are coming here to rob our resources. You are coming here to rob our humanity. You are coming here to rob our spirit of Ubuntu. And we should not tolerate that. We should refrain for it. So I hope you get this message. Start sharing love. See a brother, put a smile in your face. Let's help each other out. Let's build the Africa that we want. Yes, we can, of course. Why not? We got all the resources. The only thing that we lack is love. The love of yourself, the love of your brother. That's what we need to have. So I hope you will start to see things differently after watching this message. I hope you will start seeing Africans as your brothers and sisters as they are. So yeah, make sure that you subscribe to get more of these messages, more of this content, African content, Pan-Africanism. This is your host, Maneza F8. Hit your like button and leave a comment. Let's discuss. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about Africa. Make sure you watch the video on your left and the other video on your right that we will be sharing with you. Fikiria kwa undani, Think Deep Africa, Asante Ndugu Tamaku.